Hey everyone, so I am looking at my Spotify Wrapped right about now, and I'd say almost 2 weeks late, but better late than never. So I'm just surprised that I listen to this many genres of music, because I generally try to do like pop or just like what's popular, but more recently I've just been diving into different genres altogether. I do think it's like interesting to see like the genres overall because there's like pop, but see on like TikTok everyone was like, well, what is POV indie and what distinguishes it from like everything else? Rock, rap, and indie pop. I think for me it's like my music taste has been well, it used to be like whatever's like mainstream in addition to just like remember just like rap 4 or 5 years ago in terms of like listening to say like Ski Mask X in addition to different other artists at time being just like try and think like play Playboy Cardi, Lil Uzi in addition to like different artists at the time back when say like X Double XL was really popular at the time being and then going into say like pop, indie, etc. Going from here, let's see the other one. Different places. For this one, I was sort of surprised as I'd say, let's see. So Goth Babe, I actually listened to a lot last year, and it really was top for last year. Del Water Gap, saw I saw him in person in Boston. That was really cool to go to his concert then. And I know he also toured with Maggie Rogers prior to that. And as far as Hippo Campus, I'd say not as active within this year, but I remember maybe like here and there with Hippo Campus at least. I saw that while in the tabs here, I just had like the sound of different places altogether. Like I was able to find the Cambridge one, but I was only able to find the Cal Poly one where SLO is otherwise located, but not like individually. As if it's like you drill down, there's like thousands of different places, and I couldn't really find it top of mind. Resuming it, we'll see for next one. So for this, I'm somewhat surprised, but at the same time, I tracked my music through Last FM a lot, just like looking at like my weekly listen to songs and just keeping a visual diary of that. I'm pretty surprised at Baby Blue Shades though, because for this artist, they were playing for more of a headliner for the band Camino when they did their Boston tour, and I sort of just Shazammed it with the person I was going with at the time, and just surprised that just topped the list altogether. From here, let's see. I was really surprised by this one. Like, this one just sort of came out of nowhere. As for this, here's the overall top songs. But I'd say it gave somewhat of an indicator of overall who was most listened to artists. But I do vividly remember just like these particular artists in addition to other things. But at the same time, I do think it's interesting to see how certain respects just TikTok in addition to other platforms have influenced my music taste. As I'd say that it's very easy to get recs from TikTok, whether it's different popular songs at time being or different sounds get trending. But I try to just use my Spotify Discover weekly in addition to just ask people here and there. And then it's an overall playlist, but I'll just be brief with this, but or try to. So, Bad Suns, Biba Doobie, Cade Fire. I'd say near this time, I want to say within the last year, I listened to Empire Weekend a lot on and off, and in addition to more of the collectively saying like indie altogether, which I think it's like indie is a large umbrella when you are looking at it ultimately, but a good mix here in terms of just general pop in addition to just like indie rock in addition to other sounds. Say for this, it's good mix though. Okay, I'm trying to think of. I'd say at the same time I did have like some throwback ones, say like Safe and Sound, Capital Cities, and I was just like, wow, that is a decade ago. But at the same time, I try to make it varied enough where it's a little bit of everything. But I do think there's a good mix here. Remember Fits and the Tantrums, I remember being introduced at like a good number of years ago, and glad it's reintroduced here. In addition to like say Passion Pit and different other ones. Try and see from here which other ones. I'd say a good mix slash variety when it comes down to it. But I'm trying to see what the next phase of music taste is. But happy to see how that goes next year, though. So on to the next bit here. For this, I was actually surprised at like how much music that is day to day, because it's like, let's see. So, or let's try to do the math. That's like 2,000 hours, but that's almost like one in or like 25% of like every waking day. Actually, let me see how the math adds up. Or if dividing that in like 360 days at least. So for that, it's like, hmm, interesting. It's like a good 5-ish hours every day. Sorry, my brain just imploded for a minute. Let's see. Say, resuming that, hmm, 0.5%. Now for this, I was surprised at like how many artists in particular, but I was surprised at how Carly Rae Jepsen was at the very top. Because I'd say listen to her most recent album in addition to just her previous discography, but I think it was half and half in terms of trying to find good running music in addition to just finding new music overall. And this was pretty cool to see. As for the rest of them, I think it's interesting to see just like here is the peak plays in terms of timeline. And then Magdalena Bay, at least, I was introduced to this from some friends. Actually went with some of them to see a concert that they had, but glad they stayed sort of consistent throughout. B but Doobie, I'd say more on and off as well. And Foster the People, I'd say similarly very on and off, but they're guilty pleasure in terms of just, well, not guilty pleasure, just enjoy listening to their songs in terms of, say, I want to just like play an album of theirs during like a run or something in particular. Saint Motel, I really enjoy. I'd say similar to Foster People, just like doing that in addition to, I think for me, I try to curate just different playlists for different moods or running errands among different things, but try to do that here and there at least. So for the top artists, top ones, or just showed you the top ones, but here is it visualized overall. I was pretty surprised at Carly Rae Jepsen as far as things are concerned, but say the other ones make sense in terms of things. Might as well.
Hi, my name is Carly Rae Jepsen, and I want to thank you all so much for listening to my music this year and being such supporters of this project. It has really been the loveliest time, and I mean that so sincerely. I don't think I've ever enjoyed performing so much, and that's all thanks to you. So, looking forward to whatever's next to come, and I will see you there.
Alright, back to mute. I probably had like a blank expression if I'm being honest. Top podcasts. I'd say this makes sense. I just binged a lot of Armchair Expert and really enjoyed the initial bits. Not to say that I don't now or currently, I just don't follow them as actively. But I do like their more spin-off shows in addition to different ones that they have that are also in the, I guess, like the collective. As for Rhett and Link with Ear Biscuits, I really enjoy more so their initial interviews where they're interviewing creators, sort of like what Colin and Samir do nowadays on their YouTube channel, but not so plugged in as much with their current content. Not that I don't find them as relatable enough anymore, but it's not as much as I'd like their previous work within their podcast space. For Acme, I think I listen to it with a grain of salt, but I think it's more just like I would say this is a guilty pleasure one where I got introduced to this by a friend and I just listened to this on and off here and there. As for Dear Hank and John, I'd say this would probably be my favorite one, but I started from their very beginning and I'm all caught up to date with Dear Hank and John, and that's been great to see that overall. For normal gossip, I got introduced to this by someone as well, but I'd say it's more so like a story time where just people just spill the tea about just like random everyday endeavors and not so much say like bombshell like celebrity drama or different things, but just like everyday life and just like the gossip that that entails. I'm surprised this is like only 2%, but I enjoyed it for why it was overall. Mm-hmm. Let's see. To reveal travel back into. I'd say that's pretty accurate. Mm-hmm. Like how they're just self-aware that sort of like a holiday, if anything. Like people wanna tune in every year, look at like what their music collectively was, in addition to different things. And yeah, that was the overall collective for this, at least. Trying to think. Hmm. I think a funny TikTok I saw was for more of the videos for aspect of artists. I saw that it was Flo Rida where he was doing like he did like a Hunger Games meme where it's like was I won't play it just because I just don't want to react to that at the moment. But yeah, this was the Wrapped in particular, and it's really cool to see this overall as I have a more personal project where I just visualize week to week what I listen to. But it's cool to see that overall. I'll try not to go into like tangent on this one, but just be brief with this at least. Oh my. But for this, it's very much just you're able to visualize just like what you listen to, and just like here's all your Scrabbles are equivalent to just like your tracks, and then here's all the artists overall. We're able to do like similar reports where it's like, oh, here's your like top music in addition different things. Well, I think I rambled on too much here, but yeah, here is Wrapped in addition to just just music overall within the past year or so. But yeah, thanks for viewing this tuned in. And as always, don't forget to be awesome.